We are Group 6, and we will be discussing plant cells and the cell membrane, which is used for transport, communication, and selectively accepting specific things in and out. Communication can happen in 3 ways: gap junctions, in which cell membranes touch and share information; hormones, in which hormones are secreted into the environment to influence distant cells; and paracrine signaling, in which chemicals are released to affect nearby cells like neurons.
The relationship that all organelles share is that they all in some way utilize the energy received specifically to communicate with other organelles. The proteins and energy are used up in order to make sure that the cell can not only divide, but can communicate and therefore adapt to the environment. According to the Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat cookbook, osmosis is the movement of water in and out of a cell wall. As concentration. Diffusion is the movement of any particles from a region of higher to lower concentration. Diffusion allows for the transport of oxygen, CO2, and lipids to and from cells through the cytosol.
So what we have today is a competition where we have 3 contestants and they are going to have to try to make the best salad.
And I want my salad to remain the same texture as it is now. Therefore, because lettuce has a 96% of concentration of water, we are going to make a solution that also have a 96% of water. So we're going to be juicing up the lettuce to create a lettuce-rich salad. After the blending, what you're going to do is strain it through the cheesecloth. After we got the solution, I'm going to be putting this in here.
So my name is Gordon Ramsay and I will be the taste tester for these dishes. Quite flavorless if you ask me. The concentration of salt and sugar on both sides of the membrane within the cells inside was maintained, so water traveled equally across the membrane, which explains the crispiness. Means it's just lettuce.
Hi, my name is too long to be mentioned, so you can call me Sai, and I interpret salad as lettuce with extra water as dressing on it. What I'm aiming for is that the lettuce should be plump and turgid. Water is hypotonic to the lettuce, which means that water should flow into the lettuce, making it more turgid. Into the lettuce. My dish is done.
Looks like he just washed it. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this, because most places these days don't even know how to wash vegetables. However, this is not reminiscent of, or anywhere near a salad that I would actually like to eat. Disgusting.
My name is Christina, and I interpret salad as lettuce with some sauce on top. So today we're going to use some vegan balsamic vinaigrette, and you can find it's giving the salad some flavor, because obviously lettuce is pretty bland. So this dressing is hypertonic compared to the lettuce because it has a lesser concentration of water, because obviously it has some salt and some herbs to make the salad really what a salad is. So while the lettuce might get wilty because of this, because the water is flowing out into the dressing, you make up for that greatly in flavor. And what we're supposed to see after around 5 minutes is that while the lettuce might get wilty, it will greatly improve flavor, because obviously you are just eating regular plain old lettuce.
Let's try it. It's salty, it tastes like Death Valley. And it all wilted. Not even a salad anymore. Very disappointing. The hypothesis was supported by the data we found, because number 1, the hypotonic gained height, number 2, the isotonic remained the same, and 3, the hypertonic lost height. The hypotonic might have gained height because according to parental biology, water will flow into the cell, thus making it turgid and taller. Hypertonic lost height because according to salt, fat, acid, heat, water would flow out of the cell, thereby decreasing the height, which is what we saw. Isotonic would remain the same because the water will flow equally in both directions.
Solutions can cause the cell to expand or shrink, which affects cell communication because when cells expand, the ratio between the surface area and the volume decreases, which decreases the movement within the cell. This affects cell communication because there is less surface area found for receptors in endocrine signaling or paracrine signaling. So when cells can't communicate with their environment, they can't maintain homeostasis because they can't adapt.
We found 3 errors, first of which being inherent, because the timing would vary as different solutions have different reaction times. Number 2, not all lettuce is the same because some have larger surface areas. And number 3, lettuce was preemptively soaked in water. 3 extensions we found that we could use to fix that was number 1, use a timer. Number 2, cut the lettuce into shreds. And number 3, use different species of lettuce as extra confirmation as a variable.
Why do we care about cells? Well, not only are cells the bedrocks of life, but they are integral in understanding the human body to understand what certain diseases do in order to prevent future deaths, improving the quality of life.